Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Now I know we've talked about, I told you all, well, if you tuned in and you saw, about how my husband calls a cup of coffee a cup of personality.
Yes.
The way I feel today is that there aren't enough cups of personality to fix this situation. So please bear with me.
Well, we can get a refill.
I need like an IV of personality at this point.
Well, it's Thursday, so, super close to the weekend, and maybe you don't need personality on the weekend?
No, who needs personality on the weekend? We get our personality through wine, and that's a whole other thing.
Yes.
That works every time.
Right? It does. It does indeed.
Okay, well, let's dive into some hot topics. All right, so there's an article from Motley Fool. 35% of young Americans lack confidence in their finances. Here are 3 ways to boost yours.
I'm actually surprised that it's only 35% of people.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually going to be more, given that a lot of people don't feel confident in a lot of financial decisions they're making, or that they're at the right place where they feel like they should be for retirement, or for the right financial position that they want to be where they're at in their life.
Yeah, I agree. So they did a study. A recent BMO Harris Bank survey said that only 65% of consumers between the ages of 18 and 24 say that they feel confident about their financial situation, which is down from 75% during the last quarter of 2021, which I agree. I was kind of like, I actually thought the number of people who are confident would be lower.
Right. I thought that the numbers would be flipped. I thought 65% wouldn't have confidence, would not have confidence.
And I wondered if that was attributed to the fact, because it's between 18 and 24 years old. We always talk about financial literacy. And if you're lacking in, no offense, I'm just thinking of myself when I was between the age of, 18 and 24. If you're lacking that financial literacy, then you might not know what
you're lacking,
what fears there might be, or stressors are out there, or, you might still kind of be living in like the, hey,
That's true. That's true. There's definitely like that, I don't want to say la la land, but like that ignorance is bliss situation.
Yeah.
And you also feel a lot more invincible from at that early age of your adulthood.
Yeah.
Whereas
and
like
a lot of people are still kind of, they're just detaching from the nest a little bit,
Right.
So there's some you still feel kind of that support that you have felt your entire life.
Right.
And I wondered if that played a role, because I feel like if they did this study on
25 to 35-year-olds would be like, we don't know what we're doing.
It's like 1% has confidence in their financial situation. Yeah. Sometimes more knowledge causes more stress. But they do give ways to build that confidence back. And actually this applies to everyone, doesn't it? It's not just for,
young people.
18 to 24-year-olds.
Oh, those youngins.
But the first one made me, those youngins. The first one made me laugh. Build a solid emergency fund.
Have we talked about that enough?
Is it drilled in your psyche permanently?
So they mentioned that to cover at least 3 months of essential bills at the short end, and if you can get to 6 months, is a really healthy place to be for your emergency fund.
Which again, sometimes it feels like a hefty ask for young adults. 18, you're just maybe going off to college, to be thinking about that sort of thing. But honestly, starting to think about that is so healthy and important. And if you are in a position where maybe you are like working a side job or 2 or whatever it is, like start thinking about what you're doing with that money, and maybe you can't get to, 3 months of an emergency savings, who knows, but whatever you can do, like it's just learning really good habits early.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things that they touch on, and it's true, is that you can't expect to put away 3 months of expenses in 1 month. Like, it's going to take time to get there. So,
And that's okay.
but putting a goal out there and then being able to achieve it. Like,
It might take between 18 and 24 years old to get to the 3 months.
Exactly.
But you did it.
But you did it. But knowing that you're making progress towards that goal is progress, not perfection, is the goal.
I mean, I feel like if I had the wherewithal to do that, that would build confidence.
Oh, for sure.
I would be so proud of myself if I had these sort of tools and tidbits of information, and I wish, but alas.
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do it while I was in college because working a job and not having enough money as it was, plus having student loans. But once I got out of college, I probably really could have used this advice.
Absolutely.
But instead, I bought clothes.
As you do. Clothes and then probably, beer once you're 20, once you're 21.
Right. Yeah, 21.
21, did you hear?
Never before that.
No. All right. Number 2, pay off high interest debt. Yeah, that can get nasty.
Yes. And I feel like this is something, especially when you're younger, and it can happen at any age too, but a lot of people can get into credit card debt in college because you don't understand,
how the interest works.
How interest works and how it can really put you underwater so quickly.
And your first credit card as well can seem like a really exciting thing. I know, I remember almost looking at it like it's like this free money access, right?
Yeah. It's not.
It's not that.
It's not. No.
But they do give a couple tips about if you can maybe do a balance transfer or consolidate into a lower cost personal loan. If that's an option, it's better than paying super, super, super high interest. That's just growing and growing and growing. So
Or at the very least, just making a plan so that you are paying it off, and hopefully trying to pay off more than just
prioritize it
payment every month, so that you can pay down the principal and not just the interest.
Yeah, credit cards can be a very fun and very scary thing.
Yes.
But it's good to be a little scared of it. I think a lot of people get the first one and it's more fun than fear. Maybe
a little healthy
bring
fear.
a little bit of that fear in as well. Okay, get started. Well, we've talked about this. Get started with retirement savings. Can you imagine if you started at 18?
Oh my goodness. That'd be awesome.
Yes. I don't know how many 18-year-olds can start squirreling away for retirement, but I mean, hey. Some people are out working already. Who knows? Everyone has a different story.
I mean, and maybe you're able to just put $100 a month. That's something more, and with compound interest and hopefully a rate of return that helps a lot. Those extra 4 or 5 years that you might be able to put away.
Yep. So all of these things can alleviate major stressors in your life and build your confidence. And we want to be financially confident, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
It is it is so true. And that's why I love that we do Healthy Wealthy Wednesday, because it is, I feel like, a main cause of stress in most households.
Yeah. I mean, typically money.
Yeah, it really is. So we're here. We're looking out for you at ROI TV.
Regardless of your age level.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with more hot topics and hot coffee. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so now we are going to talk about an article from Warwick Beacon. 5 benefits of financial planning for women.
Ooh, I'm a woman.
I'm a woman too.
All right.
This was written for us. Hey. Well, I feel like this is another thing we talk about a lot, especially since the pandemic, which I think just kind of raised awareness towards something that already exists, is the fact that women often put on many, many different hats in the household and take on so many different responsibilities.
They're juggling all the things.
Yes. And so the importance of maybe as a woman going and speaking to a financial planner to help formulate a plan that is perfect for your specific situation is just going to help your overall well-being.
Right. hopefully by talking with a financial planner who, you know, is an expert in this field, and you know, the internet is great. You can learn a lot of tips and tricks. Watching ROI TV is great. You can learn a lot of things so that when you go talk to a financial planner, you can bring questions. And you kind of have maybe a baseline understanding of what they are going to ask, so that you can be prepared and have a very conducive conversation. But by working with a financial planner, hopefully that can take some of that financial stress off of your plate, because you can either be working toward, you know, you're working towards short-term goals, long-term goals, you're taking care of your family financially, and maybe not leaving financial decisions solely up to two people in a relationship. Maybe you're the only person in the relationship, who is financially savvy, you know, like working with somebody, getting an outside opinion and somebody who's not emotionally attached to the money, super helpful. Well,
because no matter how much information you're gaining from watching different programs and even tuning into ROI TV, nobody can know your situation specifically and map out a game plan that is best for you, unless you go to, you know, a financial planner that's going to look at everything that's yours and, you know, map out a specific plan for you, your family, you know. So, but yes, it is true. Like getting the information so you know what to go in and ask. You're not going in blind, because
seriously,
wow, yeah, I've actually learned a lot, like working here, and it's out of control. Like the questions that I have now at this point.
Yeah,
like all aspects of estate planning, personal finance, taxes, real estate, like everything. It's loaded. Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
Our financial like livelihood is very full. Okay, so they give you some tips.
They give you some reasons as to why you might want to work with a financial planner.
Yes, it's more reasons. So these are the benefits of doing so.
Females and women.
Right. Yeah. So it alleviates financial stress, which I think kind of raising awareness towards the fact that finances play a major role in like what gives us anxiety and stress in life is really important.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. And just opening up financial communication, like within the family, and and then going and talking to somebody and sharing your situation, someone that is a professional that can help you. I mean, yes, I can see how that would alleviate.
Yeah, and having that stress. Open and honest conversation, not only with yourself, with your partner, but within the context of somebody who's kind of understands the holistic picture.
Yeah.
I think and then being able to work towards long-term goals in a short-term way.
Right.
Is super helpful.
Yep. Long-term goals in a short-term way. We like that. Okay, the next one, it supports career transitions, which we're seeing a lot of as well right now. This article is very relevant to what's happening in the world today.
It's like it was written recently.
It's as if. So yes, we've seen that a lot of people have either been forced into or inspired to do a career shift since the pandemic, during the pandemic. And meeting with a financial planner can really help facilitate that.
Yeah, it can help you plan for changes in your career and possibly income level. Like if you stop working for a couple of years because you have small children and you feel like that's where you want to and need to be, or maybe you decide to switch gears completely. You go back to school because you aren't feeling fulfilled where you're at in your career. Or, maybe the opposite is true. Maybe you decide you just don't like your job currently and you can go get a bigger, better job. As we have talked about, women are getting 30% raises by switching companies. So, there's certainly that aspect as well.
Yep.
So financial planners can really help you plan for all those different changes.
Next, it helps you better determine your legacy. Knowing what's coming, formulating a game plan so that you have an idea of what your retirement's going to look like, what your legacy is going to look like, is only beneficial to you and your children and everyone in your family.
Right. Yeah. getting your estate planning done is super helpful. And again, can alleviate stress so that you have something in place so you know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, the next one is, it gives you confidence in your tomorrow. Ooh. I mean, right? It gives you confidence in your present.
Right.
And your future.
Exactly. Exactly. And again, it goes back to those short-term and long-term goals, like making sure that you're hitting those short-term goals. Maybe your short-term goal is to go on a vacation with your family this year, but your long-term goals are to have $3.3 million saved for your retirement by saving $400 a month.
Yep.
As we learned earlier this week.
Which everyone between 18 and 24 will start doing after our previous segment.
Right.
Right?
So you can, do short-term and long-term and make sure you feel like you have a healthy financial position.
Yes. Us women, we need to take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because we do a lot.
Indeed. A lot.
All right. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back to talk about the shows airing today on ROI TV. Welcome back, everyone. Do not forget to miss today's episodes of Options Crash Course and Browns in Suits. You can watch them all on ROI TV on what?
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, or on your Roku. We're also available on the ROI TV app for iOS or Android phone.
There you have it. Well, thank you for joining us this week on Coffee with Kem Hills. We will see you next week with more coffee and hot topics, and who knows? Could be surprises. There's surprises around every corner on ROI TV.
Financial surprises.
Exactly. Thank you, and see you later.